Kenya iko na watu wapuzi sana. Wallahi, unless we stand to speak our minds, this country will not be free. This is the first time I've come to Kisii at the invitation of a man who lives very far away. Instead of kidnapping them, instead of putting them in jail, instead of killing them, and we can't speak the truth. I'm here to tell you, Mheshimiwa Ruto, hata kama ni rafiki yetu, through Mheshimiwa Ochoi, leave watoto wa watu na uachie leo. I'm the third most powerful man in this country. I was number 3 after the election. I got 2.8 million votes. Many of them are still stolen. Nobody can restrain me from speaking the truth. Because
Mr. Wajakoya, the former presidential aspirant in the Republic of Kenya, has come out to condemn widespread cases of abduction while attending a funeral of the late father of Cosmo Joy, a very popular human rights activist. He came out to castigate and really inject, saying that the government must stop some of these things it's doing in broad daylight. We are past the republic and politics of abduction.
Nakuomba kama huyo kijana alishikwa na serikali, huyo kijana nakuomba umwachilie tafadhali, wacha kuja hapa tukule sikukuu na tutakuwa nakwambia asante.
Kijana mwingine,
many of them are still stolen. Nobody can restrain me from speaking the truth because
if this unit is not dismantled, we'll be giving the name of the building and the full names that officer and his cousin in this administration. And these people are not answerable to the Inspector General of Police. Your guess is as good as mine as to who is the commander of that unit. Let me emphasize that killing our children will not quell the anger of the Kenyan people. People are very angry with this administration. Abducting young people is not a solution. You must address the cause of the disquiet, of the discontent. Why are people aggrieved with this administration?
The former Deputy President, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, is among the very many Kenyans who have come out to castigate this number of abduction. This time round, he even exposes some of the responsible faces behind them, saying that they operate from a very big office in the Republic of Nairobi and some are cousins to political leaders. And this time round, very sharp Kenyans went out to dig this information and extract vital ingredients from the story, and they established that some PS in the Republic of Kenya might be behind this whole saga, and he is operating from one of the government building, which is a tall building in the Republic of Kenya.
Let us also, as Christians, remember that our first duty is to pray for peace.
As Christmas Mass was underway at the Holy Family Basilica, a group of young men interrupted the Mass to demand the release of those abducted. The youth now issuing a 24-hour ultimatum to the government for the unconditional release of all abductees.
There is no merit for us. So tumekuja, tunataka kanisa isimame na sisi kupinga abductions, kupinga enforced disappearances of young people, especially those that are fighting for good governance.
We are going to call for a mother of protest to ensure that our young men, our fellow comrades are free. Because this government, the only language that they listen to is the language of the streets.
This Christmas, the church says, is one marked by a myriad of social injustices. The clergy now calling on the government and other national leaders to emulate Christ in the way that they lead this nation. Jasmine Wambui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
However, these stories, as they continue going on, in the recent days we have seen number of abduction from the height of Gen Z revolution, with many parents feeling that now they have lost hope because this generation is going to be eliminated by such methods. And on social media, many people are really digging out some of this information, saying that some of these operatives are operating very swiftly under command of very powerful people in the Republic of Kenya. And the latest exposure being that the police Inspector General came out to deny the allegation while he was having a presser interview with
to our stations. Ours is to investigate, and if there is anyone who has committed an offense, be arrested and be taken to a court of law so that they can be able to answer on those charges.
Responding to the Hilos gold mine incident, police boss Kanja reiterated that there was no death registered by the National Police Service. In a bid to implement the recently launched National Police Service Strategic Plan, the IG says he will roll out major reforms in the service with the aim of eliminating corruption through digitization of the Occurrence Book, OB, by 1st April 2025, as well as addressing salary increment, housing provision, among other pressing needs.
We want by 1st April to launch our digital OB, 1st April next year. So we are already moving very fast actually. After the launch of our strategic plan, we did hit the ground running so that we can be able to move and ensure that by April we are there. So many other services that are rendered by the police are also going to be brought up on the platforms of the e-citizen platforms and many others, such that you can be able to access them that way easily. We want to make work easier for the Kenyan people. My plan is to ensure that our police stations becomes centers of excellence for police operations and centers through which the public are served. I know it is not a walk in the park. I'm aware of that. But then, what encourages me most is that we have got full support from our government. Full support of everybody.
The police IG says he aims to address the issue of graft within the force, which has acquired a reputation of being among the most corrupt public institutions.
We are also going to eliminate these complaints about corruptions. They will be things of the past. We want to use body cams. We want to see our officers on the roads when they are rendering services to the people. Because at the end of the day, we can be able, and even exonerate officers, or the other way around, depending. So, by adopting technology, it is going to make our work much easier. The supervisors will also be in a pole position, actually, to supervise the other officers. For example, an OCPD can be able to supervise his stations. An OCS can be able to supervise his officers within his areas of jurisdiction by the use of technology. So things becomes much easier.
With the Christmas festivities already underway, motorists have been strongly urged to refrain from drink driving.
And one life lost is one too many. So I want to urge them to restrain themselves, to observe the regulations of the road.